Hello, and welcome to today's episode of The Daily Blend. I'm your host, AC, and we are joined in studio today by Dr. Joy Powell, who is an associate teaching professor of musical theater.
Yes.
And directing Into the Woods.
Yes.
Ooh, director.
I know.
Director Dr. Joy Powell.
That's right. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having us. You and your staff are always just the very best. So thank you for that.
Thank you for being here.
Well, yeah, love doing it. Into the Woods is a musical by Stephen Sondheim and James Lapine. And it takes the original Grimm's fairy tales and kind of brings them together and sort of asks the question, what happens if you go off the path that you're used to? What happens if you go on a quest to really find that thing that you really want in life? And what sort of choices and sacrifices do you have to make along the way? Yeah.
That's deep.
It is. But it's characters that we love and are familiar with. Cinderella, Rapunzel, Jack with Jack and the Beanstalk. There's a witch, of course, because in fairy tales, that's the normal character.
Always.
But this witch character has layers. And she loves her daughter, but her love is not always the best kind of love. She can be a little controlling sometimes. And so we see these characters that we've known for a long time, but we see their humanity, we see their messiness, we see how they try to do better with what they have when they have more knowledge. But it's a musical, so it's also really funny. And it's, based on the original musical that came out in the late 90s, but there was a film by Disney. I think it was maybe 2009. Someone might need to fact check that, but it's been around a while. And that had, Emily Blunt and Meryl Streep and famous actors in it. And so a lot of people know the story through that.
Okay. Into the Woods sounds like, it sounds deeper than just, fairy tale.
It is. And so Act One is sort of the presentation of the fairy tales as we know them. And then as we get into Act Two, those fairy tales kind of crash into one another. And what happens when Little Red Riding Hood and Cinderella become friends and start to figure out how to find the next steps. Because of Jack and the Beanstalk, we have some giants that appear and stomp through the kingdom. And so that also creates some danger and some I would say uncertainty on where the path is and how to make a family and a community in the aftermath of that giant's presence. Yeah, so there's a lot there. But one of the main songs from it is called No One Is Alone. And, that theme and that song is important, obviously, in the story, but I think it's something that we all need to be reminded of, that we aren't by ourselves and that there is authentic community around us. And sometimes we just have to really look for it.
Sometimes you have to look for it.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to look for it. Sometimes you have to reach for it.
That's right. And help create it.
Yes.
Yes.
Intentionally.
Yes, for sure.
Intentionally.
Yeah.
So tell me about your cast.
Well, we had 90 students audition for this, which is the most I've ever had here at Mizzou. And that's exciting because that means the story is speaking to people and that our department is really reaching out into that campus community and the students want to be a part of what's happening. And so we cast 21 students out of that 90. And I would say about half of them are brand new to Columbia, either transfer, a lot of freshmen. And this is their first sort of foray into theater, musical theater here. And then about half of them are students that we've worked with before that are really honing their skills and are really looking at, how can I be a theater maker and how can I create that community? And so I'm really excited about this cast. We've got undergrads, we've got some grad students involved, but it's all Mizzou students. And so when you come to it, you're going to be like, well, I thought these people were professional, but they're all students. And I'm really, really impressed by all of them. They're working incredibly hard. And I can't wait for Columbia to see the work they've been doing.
I can't even imagine. How long, what's the runway leading up to this from the time you create the cast?
Yeah, well, we cast the show in early September, and then we started rehearsals on October 6th. and we will open on November 6th. So it's pretty quick.
It is.
And part of that is we want to, we don't just do musicals, right, in our department. We already had 2 plays this semester. And so we're trying to make sure that, we give the process enough time, but also that we can do as many things as we can, because our goal is to create as many opportunities as possible for the students. So it's pretty quick, but I have a great team of folks I'm working with beyond the cast. And so they are just very committed to making this a success.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And what a great opportunity for the students.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the goal. That's the thing that gets me out of bed every day.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. And then they get to create, like you said, they are creating their own community.
Absolutely.
Within
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
100%.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay, so tell us again the details, when we can see it, where we can
Sure.
see it, where we can get tickets.
Okay, so it'll be at the Rhynsburger Theatre, which is on campus in the Fine Arts Building, in the theater part of the Fine Arts Building on Hitt Street. We open on November 6th, so just in a few days, and we run through the 9th, and then we'll run the 13th through the 16th. The Sunday performances are 2:00 matinees. The rest of the performances are 7:30 in the evening. You can get your tickets in person at our box office, which is in the lobby of Rhynsburger Theatre. And those hours, I believe, are 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Or you can go to the website, which is mizzou.us/Into the Woods, and that'll take you right to the ticketing part of our website, so you can buy Into the Woods tickets.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So everybody who's listening on the radio and watching needs to get tickets to Into the Woods.
Yes.
So they can see this, this kind of deep dive into,
Yes.
because don't we all want to know, don't we all want to imagine? We all read those fairy tales and
Absolutely.
have heard them and know
Yes.
them. But wouldn't it be nice to imagine, what does happen if Little Red Riding Hood and Cinderella meet? I don't know, but I kind of want to know now.
Well,
now I'm
good.
intrigued.
Good. We'll draw you in.
Yeah,
to
because
the
now
woods.
I want to know what happens and what kind of songs they sing together. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah, what happens when a giant stomps through.
That's
I need
right.
to know these things. I need to know. And the building community part sounds like
Yes.
my part.
Yep.
That sounds like my piece. Well, Joy,
Yes.
always good to visit with you.
Yes,
Thank
same.
you for joining us.
Thank you.